scarlet blaze. Bridge of Betrayal. The Empire achieves early success in the war thanks to House Gloucester, a noble alliance house whose vows of allegiance and safe passage were key to the quick capture of Garreg Mach. But Count Gloucester breaks his oath and turns on Burgleys's troops, trapped in hostile territory with their supply routes severed. The Imperial Army's outlook appears bleak.
I fear I may have miscalculated, my son.
How can that be possible, Father? We have the enemy surrounded.
Yes, and they have yet to give a damn. Time grows short, and soon Edelgard's reinforcements will descend upon the Alliance.
Then we will hold them off at the Great Bridge.
And they will find another way. If they manage to take even one of the Aramid River's crossings, they can break through our ranks. And while that may not spell immediate defeat, it will dash any hopes of Count Burgleys's surrender. Eventually, Edelgard's army will wash over the land, and then, my son, we will be defeated.
Speak plain, Father, I beg of you. What does this mean for House Gloucester?
Do not fret, Lawrence. This was a leap of faith we had to take to better our territory's fortunes. When Claude came to me with this offer, I determined the reward to be worth the risk. If the gambit fails, so be it. All it means is that our house will have to swear allegiance to the Empire.
Edelgard will never settle for such. She will demand... Oh, Father. No.
I am proud of you, my son. You have grown into a man strong and wise enough to lead our house.
Is there nothing that can be done? What of your dream to claim the Alliance leadership from House Regan?
It is your house now. You determine our path. Besides, when the dust finally settles from this war, there may not be an Alliance to lead.
So I am to submit to the Empire and carve out as big a place for our family as I can? Is that it? You would have me put an end to the Leicester Alliance?
Perhaps my praise of your wisdom was ill-advised. You get ahead of yourself, Lawrence. We bend the knee only if we lose, not before. And as you said, we may yet be able to drive back the Emperor's reinforcements and win the day. Always think 2 steps ahead, my son. Be clever. Survive. That is the lesson I seek to impart. I had best go prepare for my final battle as Count Gloucester. However this plays out, look for a way for our house to prosper, and seize it, Lawrence. Seize it! That is how Irvin Fritz Gloucester fights, and it is how you must fight as well.
Well, we managed to slog our way to the encampment. Now we just have to finalize our plan.
Why is it so important to hold part of the Aramid riverbank again? I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to cross over into Alliance territory before it's too late?
If we do, we risk the enemy cutting off our retreat. We are here to break their siege, not fall prey to one.
If we don't conduct this rescue carefully, we'll be worse off than we started. We must be smart. And that means establishing at least one bridgehead in addition to the Great Bridge of Myrddin.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
The Minister is a general of much endurance. He will be holding out until we arrive. He is more than a warrior and a maker of strategies. It would lack wisdom to be making an enemy of him.
Yep, that's my father. No one can beat him. I just hope I can be half the warrior he is one day.
I think even 1.5 Burgleases would be more than enough. Not that it's any of my business.
So, what are we to do about House Gloucester? They have indicated a willingness to swear fealty, for whatever that pittance of a promise is worth. That leaves only Phlegathon and Ordelia, and I doubt very much that anyone would take us to task for dismantling them.
The head of House Ordelia is one of the 5 great lords. Dismantling them, as you say, would hamper Her Majesty's ability to rule effectively in the future. Consider, for example, why we chose not to dismantle House Eyre.
Because I belong to House Eyre, and you did not have to. Ah, of course. You are happy so long as they install successors who are willing to toe the line.
That is the plan, yes. House Phlegathon, however, must be disposed of. Their lord, Acheron, has leveraged his control of the Great Bridge to do whatever he well pleases. I have a suspicion the Alliance desires him gone as badly as we do.
Lawrence Gloucester and Lysithea von Ordelia were Her Majesty's schoolmates, yes? They may be more willing to listen to reason than the others.
Sure, but Claude went to the Officers' Academy too. And he's taken a firm stance against the Empire. Do you really think this can be handled via diplomacy?
That will depend on precisely what their demands are. But first, we must retake the Great Bridge and extricate Count Burgles and his troops. Let us focus our energies on that for the time being.
Agreed. And it would behoove us all not to overlook how devious Claude can be just because we went to the Academy together. If he's not willing to come to the table, I won't hesitate to meet him on the battlefield instead.
I won't hold back either. Sometimes you have to kill old friends in this line of work. That's just how it is.
Pardon me. Right. Very nice.
This is true.
You sure?
Got a sec?
I must be telling you.
So basically...
Yes.
That's not good.
An opera company smack dab in the middle of the Imperial capital, huh? I can't even begin to imagine what that must be like. I mean, I've been all over the place for my mercenary work, but it's mostly just been for small-time rural lords and the like. Honestly, I'd never even met anyone from the big cities like Enbar or Ferdiad before coming to Garreg Mach. Even after I ended up in the capital, all the glitz and glamour made me feel almost like I was living someone else's life instead of my own.
You know, shows in the capital are about 1,000 times flashier than the little town festival shows you might be used to. Every important moment of the drama is conveyed through elaborate song, and at the center of the musical ensemble stands its star, the diva.
I think I get the idea. These divas sound pretty incredible. They probably get stage names and everything if they're that important, huh?
Oh, but of course. I was known as the mystical songstress.
Hey, that's pretty good. There always has been this kind of indescribable aura surrounding you.
Thanks, but I have mixed feelings about the name myself. They called me that because of how suddenly a street orphan like me was discovered and debuted.
Yeah, I see how there could be some complicated feelings wrapped up in that. But if you were able to rise from that to diva, you must have the chops to back it up. Not that I can even picture what that would sound like. Hey, do you think you could sing something for me?
Since you asked so nicely, but I'm only doing it this once, okay?
How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Well, what did you think?
It was... yeah.
What, you didn't like it? Not quite the booming applause I'm used to.
No, it was incredible, honest. It's just... I'm not really sure I got it, you know? I mean, the only songs I know are the ones sung by mercs in taverns or village girls as they tend the fields. You're kinda in a different league, Dorothea. Sorry I can't really give you much more than that.
Oh, don't worry about it. This sort of thing happens more often than you'd think.
Well, as long as you're not mad. If you don't mind, though, maybe you could try again for me sometime? I'd really like to hear you sing some more. And hey, I might even get better at telling you what I thought.
Sure. I suppose I can give you one more chance.
Let's see.
Absolutely.
Listen up.
Huh? Basically,
I beg your pardon. Could you spare a moment?
Over here!
ugh.
Needless to say, that is the only logical course of action. Excuse me, are you even listening?
Yeah, I totally am. You're gonna save this prince who's being held captive by some evil cult of sorcerers in order to restore House Nouvelle?
That is not even remotely close to what I said. Where has your mind been this whole time? Creating new magic, charting unknown sorcery waters. Therein lies the means to make my dream a reality. To that end, I have decided that you will make a most fitting test subject for my research.
No thanks.
What reason could you possibly have to refuse? Do you not want the honor of helping House Nouvelle regain its former glory?
I don't mind lending a hand, but I'm not so keen on being a test subject. You don't even know what'll happen. Wouldn't it make sense to experiment on yourself first?
Huh. A rather astute deduction for one such as yourself. However, there is one critical flaw in your reasoning. Were I to do as you propose, I would be unable to properly observe the results with my own eyes.
Well then, you'll just have to be patient until someone volunteers. We'd have a big problem on our hands if something happened to me before the next battle, right? Actually, that probably goes for everyone.
I suppose you are correct. But then, my research has reached an impasse.
I guess so. Okay, how about this? Since we're at war, why not try and distinguish yourself in battle? You could still conduct your research at the same time. Combat's more my wheelhouse anyway. In fact, we could even start right now with some training. What do you say?
I respectfully decline. While I am not entirely opposed to the idea of military prestige, I am unable to accompany you at this time. Training at night will surely suffice.
At night? But you won't have enough time if you don't train during the day. You're not planning on pulling all-nighters, are you?
Oh, please! I am not that foolish. I simply do not wish to train at this very moment.
All right, I'm not gonna twist your arm. But I'm heading over to the training grounds, so feel free to come by if you change your mind.
Very well. However, there are extenuating circumstances that prevent me from doing so. Nevertheless, I shall succeed in all my endeavors, be they magical or military, and I shall do it all in my own way.
My instruction comes at a high price.
What a fascinating power. Who knew this power slept within?
Don't neglect your daily studies.
How can I be of service?
By the way,
What to do? Do you have a moment?
So basically...
Mm-hmm.
Monica, why are you just standing there?
I was waiting for you. You were speaking with Her Majesty, yes?
Yep, just going over some strategy. Why? Did you need me for something?
No, not exactly. So, what did Her Majesty say?
Well, she wanted to get my opinion on how best to utilize our mercenaries, since they all use different weapons. We're gonna be fighting some upcoming battles on terrain that'll make it harder to use lances, so we were trying to figure out how to deal with that.
And you didn't speak of anything else?
Well, yeah, but it probably wouldn't interest you. Mercenary stuff, you know.
That's not quite what I meant. There was cake for everyone, was there not? And I'm pretty certain there were fresh flowers throughout the room. Did you not see them?
Oh yeah, that cake was great. Did you want a piece? Flowers, though... I think maybe there were some little white ones?
Ugh, I have no interest in your opinion. I want to know what Her Majesty thought of them.
Oh, I don't know. She probably said something nice, but I wasn't really paying attention.
You weren't? Ugh. Never mind. I suppose I will have to ask her myself. I just want to know what Her Majesty genuinely thought. You were summoned by Her Majesty and granted the honor of giving her counsel. Then, she graciously offered you cake. And you didn't even have the decency to watch her eat it? Honestly, what is wrong with you?
Sorry if I let you down somehow. I don't think I really get what the big deal is, though. Want me to go ask her right now?
No, please don't. If Her Majesty learns I was prying about such things... I do not want to bother her with these trivialities. Forget I said anything.
I see what's going on here. The cake and flowers were your doing, weren't they? That's why you were asking me about how Edelgard reacted.
Yes, okay? Just please, not another word of this.
All right, I get it. Well, not really, but...
I beg you, forget this ever happened. The situation is far more complicated than you realize.
Excuse me.
Hi there.
If I may. Right.
Well, there's a face I'm not used to seeing on the training grounds. Something wrong, Hubert?
I have merely come to examine the equipment. I hear whispers that it is in quite the state. Further, my being here should come as no surprise. Her Majesty and I train in these grounds often.
No kidding? I don't think I've ever seen you two around here.
Naturally. We tend to pick times that allow us to avoid a crowd. In any case, if you do desire a session with either myself or Her Majesty, you only need ask. A mercenary with no backing such as yourself has much to gain by earning Lady Edelgard's favor. Of course, we would not be without benefit. Your rise in standing would paint an ideal picture for our people.
How do you mean?
Many commoners crave progress, a path upward in life, and your example would prove that path exists. The common folk would never expect to see their emperor train alongside someone of your dubious origins. At least not outside the pages of a fairy tale.
Dubious origins? Little harsh, don't you think? Still, it doesn't sound too bad if I can use that to help lift people up.
On the other hand, your presence would also cause great turmoil amongst the elites of our society. They may even despise you. a symbol of the ungrateful commoner, granted privilege well beyond their station.
Oof. But hey, Dorothea's a commoner too. Why don't they hate her?
Dorothea is a famed former songstress, well esteemed in the upper echelons of society. Your situation is vastly different.
Right. Well, no point worrying about it if it's gonna happen no matter what.
Precisely. Things may yet change in the years ahead, but for now all we can do is live with it.
So coddling the elites means the commoners end up oppressed, while hoisting commoners up only agitates the elites. Glad I'm not the one who has to rule the Empire. This whole thing sounds like a total mess.
A mess, indeed.
You know, I don't believe I ever asked your feelings about this war. On the surface, it must seem as though we took Fodlan's fragile piece in our hand and shattered it into 1,000 pieces.
What? Is it deep conversation time now? Where'd that come from?
It's merely that we've never discussed the matter, and you are in a fairly unique position amidst this all. I thought you might be able to provide some perspective on how an outsider views the actions Adrestia has taken.
The way I see it, you just did what you had to. You talk about peace, but it's not like people weren't already getting slaughtered for dumb reasons. I mean, pick your poison. If it's not greedy bandits ransacking your town, it's tyrannical nobles raising each other's land in search of more power. So sure, people will die in the war, but the reforms it'll bring will save at least as many innocent citizens. Maybe even more.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
It's like you said, I'm in a unique position here.
Meaning you would have answered differently were you not a mercenary.
Yeah. If I was a farmer, for example, I'd be hounding you day and night to end the war. Sure, you say you're gonna bring this bright and beautiful future, but am I really gonna suffer for years, maybe even decades, waiting for it? The stuff you're doing now, enlisting my farmhands, trampling my fields, destroying my crops, just doesn't make it worth the wait. But you know the toll it's taking on your people, yet you choose to press on with the war anyway. So you've got to have a good reason, right?
Yes, of course. You certainly don't mince words. Is it the years of mercenary work that made you this way, or have you always been like this?
Pretty sure it's who I am. It was just me and my mom growing up, you see. We lived in a village, but for whatever reason, she liked to keep to herself. So, I guess it rubbed off on me. I learned pretty quick not to get attached.
Is that so? I would be interested to hear more.
Trust me, it's not as interesting as it sounds.
Who says it has to be? Interesting or not, I'll have you tell me one of these days.
If you say so. Just promise not to freak out when you realize how boring I am, okay?
Do I seem like the type of person to freak out about such a thing? Perhaps don't answer that.
Wait a moment. A moment of your time.
Now see here.
Pardon me. Ah, fiery as ever. What an inspiring sight.
Oh, hey, Ferdinand. You think so? The way I see it, a mercenary who doesn't train every day probably won't stay a merc for long.
I cannot dispute your logic. Though, I must say, you never did strike me as a typical mercenary. And your upward trajectory has proven me right. To go from nothing to a commander rivaling even the finest of nobles as quickly as you have is astounding. You are the most intriguing woman.
Well, that's because I've made a habit of giving my all. I'm honestly just happy to have earned Edelgard's respect.
You're all, you say?
Something wrong?
To the contrary, I find your attitude inspirational. We are birds of a feather, you and I. Every task I undertake must also be done to utmost perfection. Polishing my armor? It shall have a mirror sheen. Cooking a meal? Let not even a single ingredient go to waste. True nobility means surmounting any challenge before you with no less than every fiber of your being.
That's taking it a little far, don't you think? Maybe you're not wasting food, but what about your time and energy? And I'm not any sort of noble, you know.
I am aghast. Are you suggesting that devoting myself fully to every endeavor is wasteful?
I mean, yeah. If you put your all into every little thing, you'll run out of stamina right when you need it most. You're like the knight in that proverb, the one who spends all day building a fence around his Pegasus, only for it to fly away.
Valuable advice for a Pegasus, perhaps, but I am no beast. I am Ferdinand von Aegir.
I know that you're different, I do, but everyone needs to take it easy sometimes. If you always keep your bowstring taut, it's just gonna snap when you actually need to fire.
I assure you I am no bowstring either, but I take your point. However, there is no cause for concern. As I have told you on multiple occasions, I am Ferdinand von Aegir. Whether I am resting, enjoying leisurely pursuits, or simply in contemplation, I always apply all my energy to the task at hand. At work or at rest, I will forever give it my all. Ha ha ha!
Seriously? What's full-on resting even look like?
What?
That reminds me.
Great.
Oh. You sure?
Gotcha.
That's troubling.
Greetings, friend.
By the by,
Oh no!
You sure? What do you think?
Don't worry!
Yeah, and watch your back out there, okay?
Hear you loud and clear, boss. Sure glad I got you in my corner.
Now then, just gotta... Oh. What are you hiding back there for, Bernadetta?
Who was that guy you were just talking to?
That? Just a merc buddy of mine, asking if I had any jobs for him.
Oh, he was a mercenary? But he looked like a bandit!
Hey, come on now. You shouldn't assume the guy's a common criminal just because he looks rough around the edges.
But, what about the way he talked? Oh, so scary!
You'd sound like that too if you'd been a merc your whole life. Most of these guys didn't have a mom teaching them how to sound nice and proper like I did.
I see. I guess I don't really know you that well, but... Are all your friends like that? Is that too nosy? That's really nosy, huh?
Oh yeah, whole gang's all pretty much the same. Guess that means you're not going into the merc business anytime soon, huh?
Obviously not! No way, not happening! Even if I wasn't as shy as I am, I'd never be able to handle all those scary people at once!
That sounds like your anxiety talking. You'd see there's nothing to be afraid of if you just gave them a fair shot. And hey, isn't basing your opinion of strangers on their appearance just gonna make you feel worse?
Well, what else am I supposed to base my opinion on?
Just spend some time with them. If you ask me, the best place to judge someone's character is either on the battlefield or over the dinner table.
I already told you I can't! Not me! Nope! Please, I need you to understand!
I get it, Bernadetta. I do. But let me ask you this. Is his appearance the only thing that's making you distrust him? There are plenty of guys out there who look just like that but have a heart of solid gold. Nicest folks you'll ever meet. By the same token, there are some real horrible people who cover it up with niceties and honeyed words. The kind of people who prey on others. My point is, judging a book by its cover will only get you in trouble. Trust me, you can't always tell who's good and who's bad from looks alone.
Why are you trying to scare me? Nobody's tricking the iron heart of Bernie. Not today, not ever. Well, probably. Maybe. I'll be fine, I swear.
How may I help you?
Which battlefield are you headed to?
The fight starts now.
I suppose escape is necessary sometimes.
Together, we can be turning the tides.
I beg your assistance at once.
Starting the mission. Is that an oath? Starting the mission. Providing support.
Begin. The Sky Spirit watches over.
It's Birdie's time to shine! You need...
Don't mind if I do. Here it comes! Out of the way! You're done!
Knowing when to retreat is a vital strategy. Knowing when to retreat is a vital strategy.
How can I face my comrades after this?
Sorry, but I gotta fall back. For you. Bear witness.
I'm dragging the others down. I'm dragging the others down.
You're
Somebody
weak.
help me! Take this!
Not a problem. I've got this.
I'm swapping in. I have finished with great success.
I'm dragging the others down.
We're not losing to anyone!
It's Birdie's time to sure hope this...
Starting the mission. Is that an order?
Begin.
I won't ever forget your kindness.
Enemy down.
Since you're doing so well, maybe it's okay for me to take it easy a little bit?
Is it my turn?
It's no use. We can't gain any ground.
What next?
Let us take this place down. I need somewhere to hide.
Use this stronghold well. Enemies will be falling. Hooray! Farewell!
Getting out of fights alive is kind of my thing.
What did your investigation uncover, Hubert?
It appears those who slither in the dark had nothing to do with any of this. This plot was hatched by Houses Regan and Gloucester alone.
In other words, we know exactly where the idea to encircle our troops came from. Claude von Regan, leader of the Alliance.
He's going to be a true thorn in our side now that he is in charge. Back when Duke Regan had no clear heir, the Lords were busy maneuvering to be next in line. Then Claude appeared in an instant and laid claim to the seat of power. We were hoping that would be enough to throw the Alliance into disarray, but he has done a remarkable job of seizing the reins.
Feigning discord with Gloucester while they privately schemed together was an especially nice touch. Sadly, it seems we're facing a gifted tactician as well as a skilled leader.
Yet for a tactician, he woefully underestimated Count Burgles. I say we finish his education. It is time Claude learns the gulf between his power and the Empire's cannot be bridged with a few clever tricks.
Let's earn our keep.
Let us unite our strength for a successful defense.
Maybe we should just run away?
Here I go. No mistakes. They must learn who they're up against.
It's Bernie's time to shine! Sure hope this goes okay.
I will gladly handle this. Orders received.
This place won't be a problem anymore.
Let us bring this stronghold down efficiently.
Out of the way! All would be lost if I were to die here.
I have this.
No!
This is all my fault. I can't. I will gladly handle this. Orders received.
It's Bernie's time to shine! Sure hope this... I believe that worked!
Watch this!
I will This is all my fault.
How does that please you?
Wait. Don't mind if I do. Not a problem. It's time to get going.
I'm ready.
You shall pay for this. You hear?
This is the end.
Tell me somebody saw that!
We're done for. The rest is up to you.
You will not pass me. Your punishment. This is the end. Now, where
No
to
distractions.
next?
Take a breather.
Wounds are severe.
I have this.
I have to fall back.
We did it!
Our time has finally come!
My turn?
Take this!
I'm unstoppable.
Show me what you're capable of.
Mission complete. I will gladly handle this. Orders received.
Here I go. No, they must learn.
It's Bernie's time to
The stronghold's
I'm
ours.
ready.
I'm all right. It's not over. It's not over.
I have you.
Just wait. It's not over. My word.
I'll take over.
You underestimated me, didn't you?
Nice one.
You've already lost. I will end you.
Pretty please, just don't attack this place again.
Well, would you look at that?
Let's train.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
How's that? Okay.
To battle!
This battle will be another victory I lay upon Lady Edelgard's road to glory.
Yeah, we can win this!
I'm all right.
Not a problem. I've got this. Leave this one to me. That's my cue.
Wounds are severe. I have to fall back.
You've already lost! I will end you!
Knowing when to retreat is a vital strategy.
Any final words?
Our time has finally come!
My word!
Hold strong and watch for an opportunity to strike back!
Finished!
Not a problem. I've got this. Leave this one to me. That...
It's not over.
Take a breather.
Out of the way!
Here goes.
This is on you!
I can do this!
Watch this! Stand aside!
It's not over.
You've already lost! I will end you!
Luck was on our side today.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Ah, Ferdinand. I hadn't realized you'd returned to the palace.
Yes, here I am. Not that I have official business like you.
Then why come such a long way? Ah, I see. You're here to visit your father.
I am ashamed to say this was my first time seeing him in his cell. My father insisted I stay away for my own safety. Though I must confess, the dungeon was not the horrid place I had imagined it to be. I was envisioning, you know, fiery hot pokers, spikes, and that manner of thing.
Oh. Then it may interest you to know that we do actually have such a dungeon. I've only seen it once myself. It's further down from where we're keeping the former Duke. It's a dismal place. One where rats scurry to and fro.
Rats? I do not imagine Father would cope well with that at all. While he did look haggard, it sounds as though his treatment could be far, far worse.
We're doing our best to keep him in good health. The rest will depend on his frame of mind.
Well, you will hear no complaints from me. I care only that he is kept alive and given a fair trial, and that his punishment fits the crime, of course.
You'd better speed things along then, because Hubert is quickly losing patience.
A fact of which I am very well aware. The problem is that I remain unable to connect my father to many of the acts he is accused of.
Perhaps you're wasting your time. A noble as powerful as your father could easily have documents forged and witnesses bought off. Any records that remain will be considered far too dubious to prove guilt or innocence.
Another fact I am very much aware of. In truth, I already found proof some time ago. Proof of his corruption, that is. I discovered it while looking through his tax records. When I realized what he had done, I was ready to serve him up to the authorities myself.
Your own father? I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I mean it. I thought I could carefully build a solid case against him while studying at the academy. However, you had him clapped in irons before I could have my case organized. Now there is a bit of comedy. I idolized my father ever since I was a child. Yet I had to push those feelings aside in order to muster the anger to punish him. Now I find myself trapped between both of those emotions with no resolution in sight.
I see. And tell me, is that the end of your story? I thought you were going to become Prime Minister, keep me in line, surpass me even.
Oh, well, I did not mean...
You can still share words with your father and see him punished for his crimes, you know. So, if you desire resolution, start resolving matters. It's never too late.
Ah, Bernadetta. I see the documents I was waiting for have finally arrived.
Hubert! I'm not doing anything bad!
Then would you be so kind as to hand those over? They are addressed to me, after all.
Oh, right. Edelgard asked me to bring them. Phew, that was heavy. What are all these documents anyway?
Old records of bandit activity in this area that I need for my investigation.
Hey, that reminds me. I heard we had a group of bandits cornered, but they sort of got away.
Yes, a most vexing development. It beggars belief that our troops prove unable to exterminate even these few stray vermin.
right? Are you angry?
Oh, I doubt it is worth raising my ire over.
That's good. But you look like you're angry.
Bernadetta, are you aware of how your persistence often leads to the very outcome you wish to avoid?
Yes?
In any event, my mood is what it is because I must now locate a den of rats. I will need to research previous stomping grounds, then cross-reference the location of their old lairs in order to work out where this new one might be.
Wow, that sounds like a ton of work.
Yes, but there is nothing for it. These craven rats will not re-emerge once they've burrowed into their nests.
Hey, neat! I definitely understand the desire to burrow in somewhere and never come out. But when there are festivals and stuff, they might slip up and leave? Maybe? Possibly? Everyone loves festivals, except when there are people around, which is usually the case.
Somehow I suspect you would not emerge for even the most magnificent of carnivals. However, you and the rats may differ on that point.
We do what now?
Yes, of course. Unlike you, these thieves have no particular desire to live away from others. We have had them on the run for some time, which means they've not been able to earn coin through their usual underhanded work. Thus, if I were to prepare a place where they could cut a few easy purses, they might consider the spoils to be worth the risk.
Okay.
And the bait shall be a festival. Due to the war, we have not held a genuine festival for quite some time, after all. So even if we do not capture the rodents, and it merely brings much-needed succor to the people, I would still consider it a success. Well done, Bernadetta. You have come up with a splendid idea that eluded even myself.
Why are you complimenting me out of nowhere? Are you plotting against me?
Not particularly, no. Although I am thinking I will require your assistance in this matter from now on.
No! Someone free poor Bernie from this torment!
Oh, there you are, Hubert. I have been searching everywhere for you.
And to what end? Has Her Majesty summoned me?
Oh, she would never use me for a task like that. I just wanted to thank you, albeit reluctantly.
I do not recall having done anything that would merit such a sincere display of gratitude.
Well, you probably just saw it as part of your normal administrative duties. You fixed quite a big mistake in my last report before Her Majesty had the chance to look at it. I woke up in a panic when I realized what I had done. Imagine how mortified I was to see you'd already corrected everything.
Ah, yes. I may have done something of the sort. As Her Majesty's loyal servant, it is my duty to pare down the number of unnecessary matters which wander across her desk. I must say, I was surprised to see you make such a foolish and obvious error. Have you truly grown so lax, even as you style yourself the greatest of our Emperor's retainers?
I'm aware of the mistake I made, but I would never dream of calling myself something like that. Well, perhaps I said it once or twice in the heat of the moment, but I never actually meant it. If anyone is Her Majesty's best retainer, it's you. And without House Vestra's say-so, I could never become one of her servants.
At present, I very much doubt you are fit to serve as Her Majesty's servant.
Excuse me?
It is true that I did not make a conscious choice to serve Her Majesty at first. Instead, I simply did it because my father decreed it must be so. But such bounds no longer define our relationship. I do not serve the Emperor. My loyalty is to Lady Edelgard, and her alone. I stand with her in a manner that goes beyond the bounds of ruler and servant. Do you understand this?
I want to be like that with Her Majesty as well. But I am only the child of a baron, so I don't have excuses to linger in the palace all the time. I have to return to my family's estate once I've fulfilled my duties for the day, and I get summoned back to our territory often. I am not like you. I cannot just be at her side unless I have a good reason to be there.
Indeed. Ox territory is in the far west of the Empire. I surmise you have had to spend much of your time away from Enbar. Furthermore, you will be a baron one day. Your duties will prevent you from dedicating yourself solely to Her Majesty.
Exactly. Unlike you, I have an entire territory's worth of people to protect. But I still won't give up. Even from afar. No. Precisely because I'll be afar, there will be things I can do to protect Her Majesty. In fact, always being at her side might actually cause you to overlook threats from time to time. I may even serve Her Majesty in a way you never could.
That is a promising thought, Monica.
Hey, Caspar. Oh, what's with the mountain of books? Wait, please don't tell me you're planning to use them in your training somehow.
What kind of guy do you think I am? They're books. I'm gonna read them.
Read? A book? You? Did you eat something weird?
Come on, you sound just like Linhardt. I've torn through books before, sometimes even 2 or 3 whole chapters a day.
Please don't use the word torn when it comes to books. You're going to make my heart stop. And books are divided into chapters, not chappers. Oh, Caspar, promise me you won't hurt those books.
You don't have to worry, Dorothea. I realized something the other day. A person who's responsible for troops can't rely on physical strength alone. You probably wouldn't guess it from how my father looks, but he's pretty good about that stuff.
Can't say I'm shocked that the Empire's Minister of Military Affairs has read the occasional book. Speaking of, you may have heard this story before, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Back during the War of the Eagle and Lion, there was an Imperial general named Francis who was quite proud of his strength. But while he was indeed strong, he was unlearned, and so everyone looked down on him.
Why do I feel like this story is gonna make me feel like an idiot?
Just listen. The Emperor at the time gave Francis an order to study, and said that if he didn't, he wouldn't be allowed to lead anyone in battle. Francis did as his Emperor ordered, and studied as though his life depended on it, growing especially talented in the area of tactics and strategy. As a result, his deeds on the battlefield were great, and he eventually rose to the rank of Minister of Military Affairs.
So I should take a page out of Francis's book, right?
So long as you don't mean literally, yes. Incidentally, The words the Emperor used to praise Francis were memorable enough to have survived even to this day. With the passing of 5 sunrises and 5 sunsets, even the meanest soldier may burgeon into a peerless commander. It means if you study hard for 5 days, even a common soldier can become a great general who commands an entire army.
5 days? That's nowhere near enough time. It'd take me 5 days just to read one book. You gotta at least give me until the end of the war.
But by that point, won't your chances to distinguish yourself in battle have already passed?
Oh, you're right. What am I gonna do, Dorothea?
Well, I suppose I have no choice but to help you. Who knows? I might even learn something.
You're the best! Thank you!
In that case, you should just keep picking commoners like me for all the important jobs. Strength in numbers, right? The more of us there are, the less anyone will be able to complain.
I believe your point to be a sound one, but putting it into action will only heighten our chance of failure. Try as you may to troll a river for jewels, you will most often find yourself hauling up mere pebbles instead.
I get what you mean, I think. Accidentally picking the wrong person could really hurt the Emperor's reputation.
And provide the perfect opening for nobles who want nothing more than for commoners to be kept in their place. An utter disgrace. Here we stand amidst the flames of war, yet some on our side only seek to drag their compatriots down. There is no rot as fetid as that which plagues our foul aristocracy. It would not surprise me if they breathed noxious fumes.
Yeah, I guess they are pretty bad when you put it that way.
At any rate, it seems you must be the one to plow forward, for the time being.
Come again?
You are a mercenary, Captain, no? Surely there are worthy candidates for promotion among your subordinates. The situation would be far less volatile if any potential appointees came with your direct endorsement.
Oh good, no pressure at all. And if the person I pick doesn't work out?
Assuming they are not wholly indefensible, we would do our utmost to shield them from criticism. Though I suppose if worst came to worst, we would be forced to sever ties with them. And you.
I can respect that. Protecting the Emperor is priority number 1.
Indeed. It is the first and only priority. Do note, though, you needn't force yourself to pick someone if you fear the consequences.
Right, got it. I guess in the meantime, I'll let you know if I think of anyone who might be able to handle the job. And oh, let's keep the whole severing ties thing to the real worst-case scenario, okay? You might look the calm and logical type, but I know your emotions can get the better of you sometimes.
A keener insight than I expected. Perhaps you truly are the right person for this task. Quite the eye you have on you.
Thanks. My vision's not too bad, I guess.
Now, if you could only pair it with some intellect, we would have a true wonder on our hands.